Hey, everybody. Welcome to Everything Reese. So, today we are talking about rehab loans and stuff. So, I'm going to wait till I get a few people on in here. How y'all doing on this wonderful Friday? So, I'm glossy, y'all. I can't get my sweatshirt to act right. I don't know what's happening. Hey, Siobhan. So waiting for a little bit more people to come on in. So stick on with us. Turn my phone on vibrates. Hey, everybody. What's happening? What's happening? Ignore I don't know who has house phones. Tell me where y'all watching from. Are you watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube? Oh no, it looks good. It looks good. Yep, there we go. It's all good. So just tell me where you're watching from. You're watching from Facebook or you're watching on YouTube? Facebook. Okay, good. So we're coming through live and it's live and in charge. Okay. So, again, for those of you that may not know me, my name is Reese Swan. I have a YouTube channel named Everything Reese. I do literally everything. I renovate houses, I plan events, I am a mother, I work for the federal government, I have a t-shirt business, I am a personal shopper, that's Closet Profit. I do everything. So my YouTube channel literally just says who I am, and that is Everything Reese. And I'm happy that you all have decided to join in and to be a part of my life. So today, we're going to talk about renovation loans, and I'm going to pull in a awesome person. Her name is Angel Souls with Keller Williams Realty, and she's going to discuss some things with you. But just a little background: I'm on my second house, my second renovation. And the first one I purchased through the NACA program. Let me see if I can pin that in here. I have no clue how to do that, but the NACA program literally is a great program for anybody that may be looking for. It only went to one place. I hope it went to both of y'all. All post, all okay. Yes, all destinations. The NACA program is a program that a lot of people are hesitant in using. So they're hesitant in using because, and this is the real, the honest. They are horribly unorganized. However, it is free money, close calls, no PMIs, down payments. They pay your down payment, they pay your closing costs, you have no PMIs. The interest rates are bananas. So the process could take a year, 6 months, 4 months, or longer. For me, it took longer. My what do you call it? My approval process didn't take that long. I went in, I had some savings. I had what they call the shock value, which is 3 months of what you want to pay in a mortgage already in the bank. And what took me so long was I was paying $2,300 in rent at Northampton Apartments in Largo, and I was sick of it. I was sick of giving my money to a real, what do you call it? A renter's company, or what do you ever call it? An apartment community or whatever. So I decided I was going to go and purchase a house. So I had bad reviews about NACA or whatever, but I also had the luxury of moving out of my apartment, going to stay with my dad for a couple of years or a year and a half or so, to while I did the process. So again, my approval process didn't take that long. My approval process was probably, as far as getting financially approved, but I probably got approved within like a month. What my longest process was with NACA was finding a property, because I wanted my mortgage to be under $1,000. Some people say that's crazy. I'm going to say I was sick of paying $2,300 in rent. Okay. So literally at the time, which was about 2017, it was a buyer's market, and I literally was getting beat out by investors. I was looking for properties that were in the ranges of 150,000 to 175. So that literally, it depended on the interest rate, which with NACA, my interest rate was, hold for 2 seconds, 2.5. So my interest rate was 2.5. So literally between that 150 and 175 price range, everybody was an investor that I was literally going up against, and they were like paying out with cash. So that's what, that's why my process took so long in finding a property to purchase. Now, in knowing that price range, I knew that I was going to have to find a property that I was going to possibly fix up, or it was going to be a condo, which I didn't want, because condos have a whole lot of other fees that are attached to it. And I knew I didn't want to have to do any of those additional fees. I wanted all of my money to be just my mortgage, so forth. So in the process, literally, I had to weigh my pros and cons. I could not stay in the Largo, Upper Marlboro area, because Prince George's County, literally the taxes are just entirely too high. So I had to venture out. I had to venture out to Charles County, Anne Arundel County, parts of PG County that were, like Akakeet. I went as far as Bryan's Road and so forth, but literally still getting beat out by investors. So I said, let's come up off this MLS, and we're going to start looking at HUD homes. So that's what I did. So again, this is my first, that was my first property. I wanted my mortgage to be $1,000 or under, because I wanted to pocket what I was spending for the 9 years prior. And I wanted to put it in my bank account. I wanted to travel. I wanted to shop. I wanted to be able to get up and go when I felt like. I wanted to be able to pay my mortgage in my sleep. So for 3 years, that's exactly what I did. So again, my process in purchasing a home with NACA probably took about a year and a half. And literally most of that time was me finding a property. However, after I recommended the program to everybody that I possibly knew, my cousins had purchased houses with NACA. Some of my girlfriends had purchased houses with NACA, whatever. And because I played the test dummy in the process, their process was way easier. And literally, it is not for the weak. So it's not for the weak. If you are in a rush to move into, if you want to buy now, I'm going to tell you need to go buy new construction. New constructions are wonderful. However, you still can have issues with those new constructions. So I purchased my first townhouse. My mortgage payment was $936. And that included my HOA fees. That was at 2.5. And I stayed in that house for 3 years. Literally, it took me about it took me a year to renovate it, but that's because I had a family situation going on. My mom got sick, she passed, and all that type of stuff. So that kind of just prolonged my process. But in all, it was good. Now, even when dealing with a rehab, literally, you're going to come into some type of issues. You're going to have wants that you may not be able to have. You're going to have desires that you may not have. It might look cosmetic, which was my case. It might look cosmetic and you're like, oh, I'm going to go in. I'm just going to do everything. It's just going to be cosmetic. I'm going to change the paint. I'm going to fix this door. I'm going to redo this kitchen. until you turn on the plumbing, and then the water is spouting out the walls. So again, renovating houses is not for the weak. So just be patient. I always say it's always best if you have money in the bank, and it might not need to be a whole lot of money, but literally that's where Angel's going to come in a second and start to talk about the types of renovation loans or rehab loans and so forth. I had a conventional loan, which literally entails for NACA. The conventional loan, my purchasing price for my townhouse was $142,000. So I was under budget, which is always amazing because that means that I had more money to put into the renovation. So what they do is in a conventional loan, they take the amount of money that, your purchasing price, and then you do a rehab like document or whatever, and you literally just write it out, and then that's your budget for your rehab, and they flip it all, and it's all flipped into your mortgage. So again, my mortgage payment was $930 something. I think it was $938. And literally, y'all, when my taxes went up and my mortgage payment went to $956, I had the largest attitude. And the lady was like, "Ma'am, you probably have the cheapest mortgage ever." So, yeah. So this is that's just my story in that. Again, Charles County is always a great option because the taxes are lower. But in that, I literally sold my house in August because I had Thanksgiving dinner in my townhouse in 2019, and my family was everywhere. I'm talking about that, y'all. They was upstairs, they was in the kitchen, they was in the living room, they was in the dining room, they was in the basement, and I was like, this ain't gonna work. So it was a heartstring for me because I'm like, this is my first property, this is the first thing I fixed, and literally my townhouse was I did have contractors, but it was a house. I say it was always a house built in love. Like my uncles, they came in and did floors for me. My uncles had buddies that came in and did my air conditioning unit or whatever. I did pay. They did my air conditioning unit. My girlfriends, my mom, my dad, they painted walls. My dad put up light fixtures. My uncle scheduled for my windows to be replaced. I'm talking about it was a house of love, and I had a bomb real estate agent. So with that, again, I sold that townhouse in August of this year, and I used, instead of going through another program, I just used the profits that I made off my house. Without giving up my business. Again, I bought it for $142. And literally I sold it for $260. So y'all do the math on that. Y'all can do the math on that. So again, amazing thing. I mean, if you're a person, you're on a budget, don't look at a rehab or something. You'll be amazed at the properties that me and Angel have seen. Man, we're going to get into that a little later or right now. So I'm going to bring her in. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you. Here we go. And she's at a showing. Angel S. Souls. I hope.
I really am.
Yeah, she's at a showing. I hope the connection is good where you are. So I was just telling
so. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's an echo, but it's fine. Okay. I think, yeah. So I was just telling them, giving a little bit of background about purchasing the townhouse and going through the NACA program, which I also add that was Angel's first time going through the NACA program as well. So you need to always make sure you have a realtor that is willing and able to learn, even when they haven't heard of a program before. She sat in the meetings with me because I knew that I was not going to understand anything real estate they were discussing. And she literally just, she was amazing. So the questions that I've been getting are what type of rehab loans, what type of loans I can get to do rehab. I kind of went over like the first type of loan I had with NACA was the conventional loan. But the second type of loan I went through, everybody, was FHA. FHA. And again, I went through FHA because I literally used the profits from my townhouse to purchase and renovate my current house that I currently own. So I'm gonna let you just jump in here now.
Yeah, sure. So there's a lot of, I mean, the basis of this conversation though is specifically about rehabs or financing a home in general.
I'm gonna say give them both. I think the people need everything, so they know what
Okay.
the options are.
Okay. And let's start with the fact that your financing is the number one priority when you're house hunting. That is what you do first. Do not start looking at homes and falling in love with homes before you know how you're going to pay for it, right? So, and there's tons of different ways to finance a home. But what you also want to do is think about the type of home you want to purchase. Is this going to be a condominium? Is this going to be a townhouse? Is this going to be detached? Does it need work? Is it fully renovated? Is it energy efficient? Like, what are you looking at for? And you want to have that discussion with your loan officer that you choose about the type of house you are looking for and what type of financing goes with that, right?
Right.
For instance, condominiums. Not all condominiums can be financed with a loan at all. It's going to depend on if the condo association is functional. Do they have amounts in arrears, which means people are not paying? Is the condo association full of investors that own all the units and rent them out? All of those things matter. If you're looking for a home that needs work, well, how much work? Can you finance a home with just a regular loan, knowing it needs cosmetic upgrades, or do you need a renovation loan? Okay. Some renovation loans, you have to put down more down payment. So there's just so many factors, and you want to think about that in advance of committing to your home purchase. So get that straight first, right?
So in the renovation loans, as far as the more down payment, can you attach a program to that renovation loan as far as helping you with that down payment?
The answer is it depends.
Okay.
So, for instance, an FHA 203K is the renovation product for an FHA loan, right? The reason people like FHA loans is because there's a lower down payment than with other programs. And so 3.5% seems really attractive to people when they're talking about putting a down payment, because most require 5 or more percent, right?
Yeah, and
Well,
I don't ever want to have the interest rate down.
yeah, right.
I mean, I know that people do it because I feel like people are so excited to get into a property or whatever, but literally, your interest rate matters because that's what drives your mortgage payment. I care
absolutely.
about my mortgage payment.
That should be your number one priority. Can you afford whatever this monthly payment is?
Right.
So, so a program like that with FHA, you have to use an FHA 203K, which is the renovation version of an FHA loan, but they don't allow you to pair it with different down payment programs,
Gotcha.
right? So you got to have that 3.5% on your own and take that interest rate you're going to have, which is going to be a little higher than the standard FHA loan product, into consideration.
And what do you feel? How do you feel about the market right now, as far as the market and just purchasing houses right now? I mean, I know I'm probably jumping all over or whatever, but in this quarantine, I feel like me purchasing. So I'm gonna go back a little bit, share a story with y'all. So again, Angel sold me my first house. She sold me my second house, and she sold my first house too. So she calls me her like life. Well, we're also friends, but I'm lifetime like. I'm going to keep buying houses. That's just my reality. Is that because
you got the bug.
Pure joy in tearing stuff apart. Okay.
Everybody's not built for that, so just know that in advance.
So, but as far as purchasing, I sold my house literally with my awesome real estate agent in 4 days.
Oh, gone. Yeah.
Who is? Is everybody doing that, or is this the time to sell and buy, or?
It is. So the reason I'm out right now looking at homes is because it just became available and you need to see it the day it becomes available, right? I couldn't even sit down to do this talk with you because you can't afford to wait.
Yeah.
It is a seller's market.
Oh, did we lose her? Oh, we did.
No, I'm here. It it's a seller's market, so which means it's very competitive for
Mhm.
buyers right now, and easy for sellers, but also the interest rates are super duper low,
Yes, they are.
right? So all buyers are trying to take advantage of these super low interest rates. Okay, and which means it's essentially a perfect time to buy and sell. That's basically what that means for you. So yeah, the market is crazy. You have to go out and see things the day they become available, and you need to be able to write your offer the day it becomes available. While you're sleeping on it tonight, somebody else slept on it last night,
So
right? That's not a joke.
yeah, it's not because literally, let's talk about right offers, multiple offers on a property. So if you literally decide that you're writing multiple offers on a property, and I guess you decide you don't want that property anymore or whatever, you're gonna hold out or wait, or you gotta offer on another property. How does that
Sure.
work out?
Right. So the way I've been working with my purchasers is number one, write on everything you can until one sticks, right? Put as many offers out there as you can get on properties that you can actually call home until one comes through. Now, we also had the conversation, and it can happen. Well, what if you write three offers and all three of them are like, yes, your offer is highest and best. We want to go with you. Well, at that point, you have a decision to make, right?
Okay.
You need to choose one and rescind the other offers, meaning take them off the table. And as the agent, actually, we selected something else and you move on. So, yes, you can do that.
Okay. So again, going back into, I was telling them about the townhouse and how I thought that my townhouse was like straight cosmetic. I was coming in to just fix the paint, change out some fixtures and all that type of stuff. And then I cut on the water, and then there was water shooting out of the pipes in the
Right,
basement. Um
right.
so in that regard, I had a conventional loan. So for rehab options, what would you recommend? I know there has to be more than one. Then I also told them that for my current property, I just took the proceeds from what I made off my old house and put it into this house. Um, so I'm definitely, there are different types of rehab loans, but what do you suggest? I mean, I guess it depends on the person and what they actually need, though.
Yeah, so it depends on the person and it depends on the house. The number one way to do your rehab is cash. I mean, it because the property will increase in value. It's fine to spend the cash on rehabbing your home, right? This is after you actually own it. The other way, after you actually own the property, is to do a cash out refi, which means you're going to refinance your entire loan, but take out some equity. And they do have a cap on how much equity you can take out the house. So you want to get with your loan officer about that. And then the third way, which some people opt to do, is a HELOC, which essentially is a home equity line of credit. It's a line of credit through your bank that's based on the equity you have on your home, and you can take that out and they deposit it into your bank account like cash, and you use that to renovate and then just pay the HELOC back. But
Okay.
pay the HELOC back. It's going to be at a higher interest rate than any of the other loan products that are available. So you want to get that, get it renovated and get it done. Alternatively, do the HELOC because that's easier, quicker. Do the renovation, increase your property's value, and then refinance the whole loan, including that HELOC.
Okay. So again, that's a lot.
I know. I know. This is why you need to have a real estate agent that understands these things. See, people, my job as a real estate person is not just to run people around and show houses, right? It is important that I know what a mortgage lender does, what a home inspector does, what an appraiser does, what your home insurance company can do, what the title company is going to do. I need to have knowledge in all the areas because I'm doing all the coordinating with you to get this whole transaction done, right? So you can't just look at an agent as agent equals just looking at houses. That's not the case at all.
Yeah. So somebody asked you for you to drop your information. I'm gonna drop that in the chat.
Please do.
Um, but I don't know. Do you have a certain? Because I'll be using your personal number, girl. You don't might know want me to put your.
Don't do that.
You want to give me right now?
So my business number is 24034 Angel, and that is 240-342-6435. That goes to my Google Voice. The reason that is important is because if my phone is dead, I can get to that number through my computer or my iPad. If I need to reply to a text, I can search that just like I would Gmail. I need the Google Voice number to keep track of things, right? Because it functions like an email or voice. Whereas my personal cell phone number, Verizon, I would be scrolling and scrolling trying to find out information, etc. So yeah, the 240-342-6435 is the best number.
Okay. I'm gonna try to put it in this chat right here, y'all. I'm going to. Y'all know I'm not that tech savvy for real to be doing it. So I feel like people need a cruise. Thank you, Dora. Thank you. Because I'm like, I feel like people need cruise. I'm gonna tag her in this post too. I think I can. So we're gonna see.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I can't.
And then also, people can search for property on my website, which is upliftpropertysuite.com. Uplift Property Suite, and suite is SUITE, upliftpropertysuite.com. You can search for properties. You can alert me to something you're looking at and ask questions about it. You can share it with other people. You can create an automated search for yourself, all of that. If you just want to do your browsing. Again, don't break your own heart. Like if you're going to window shop, have some money.
Yeah, so the thing about window shopping is I didn't do that until after I had acquired my approval letter because your feelings will get hurt. Like you have like all this stuff. You go ahead, you look for properties or whatever, and you're looking at houses that are like $400,000, and they come back and say you're approved for $325.
Yeah.
So your feelings get hurt. And Angel is also this is an honest and true story. She is also the basement agent that we go in basement. So I don't do basement. And because I'm always looking for a property that I can change and fix, every house that we possibly look at is going to have something wrong with it. It's going to have pigs, turkeys, birds. It's going to have everything. It's going to have walls that was somebody that messed up and they got mad. It's going to have everything. So
we've seen some wild stuff.
She literally she'll do it for you. And you can stay outside. Because that's where I'll be most of the time. Okay.
So let me tell you, I also have certification in building science, which means literally the structure of a building, and more specifically the energy efficiency of it. Yeah. But I have climbed through all kinds of stuff. I've climbed. I'm getting in there. I'm getting dirty.
And you can just stand back, or you can go her. I'm just not the one to join her. I'm gonna stand back and watch. Somebody has to.
Sharice will not only stand back and watch, but stand back and video record.
And then after I record it, I'm probably gonna leave. Okay. Yes. I'm gonna make sure somebody got later to tell a story. Somebody got come outside the house.
This is true.
But just that is how awesome of a realtor she is. Like, just
thank you for that.
Yeah. So you need somebody on your team that literally can, because it is a team. It's a team effort. It really is a team effort. Like, from your loan officer to it starts with your real like that. It starts there. And your loan officer, they should literally work hand in hand as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
So now with NACA, I'm going back to NACA for 2 seconds, y'all. That's not going to be the case because for some reason NACA does not want to talk to the real estate agents. or whatever. So that's where you probably are doing more of the work on that end than the real estate agent is. I don't know what that's about, but again, it's free money. If you're willing to do the program, I mean, it's worth it. So
It's work, but it's definitely worth it.
it's definitely work, but it's definitely worth it. So we do have one question. So the question is, understand the renovation time periods vary from the time the renovation loan is approved. When do the payments begin? The same time.
So yeah, essentially. I mean, that depends too. Like if you're getting, for instance, a regular mortgage,
Mhm.
then the loan amount that you get initially upon closing, you start paying that the month after you close, right? But you're going to make draws over time from the escrow account in order to pay for the renovations, right? So once you're finished spending the money, then the loan adjusts and you pay the new amount.
And is that what I did? No, that I had a conventional with Citibank.
Right.
So I don't remember my mortgage. I'm not sure if when my mortgage payment. It was so long ago. It seems like it was so long ago when my mortgage payment kicked in. Did it kick in for a conventional after the renovations?
You started paying it. So let's say you closed at the end of March or something like that. Your first payment would have been due May 1st. So
Okay.
essentially get April off.
Yeah.
And then when you finish paying all of your renovation, if you do certain type of loans, then after you're finished making draws, the loan amount adjusts
Okay.
and you pay the new amount.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. She says, "Thank you for the explanation." You're
My
welcome.
pleasure.
So I promote everything. One of my friends hit me up last night, and I promote everything. So his question was, should I? He's never owned a house before. He is stepping out for the first time on his own. He's thinking about renting versus purchasing, and I always am going to go with just do it. Like just
Hmm.
because literally, y'all, I wasted so much money in renting an apartment. I mean, I get it that some people can't. So renting is always the easiest thing to do if you can't acquire a loan or if you don't have the down payment, all the type of stuff, or whatever. But there's so many down payment options now. You have the mortgage, what is it, the Merlin Mortgage Home Program, and
Hmm.
in DC, I think they still have HPAP. I'm probably messing that up, but
You're right.
okay. So and then Anaka, and I'm pretty sure there are a slew of other stuff. You actually also then you had one for me. It was like the rule, is it USDA?
USDA is 100% loan, which means no down payment necessary.
Yep. So, I mean, literally, Angel, even though I was going through the NACA program, Angel was looking for other ways for me to acquire the down payment and all that type of stuff. So, I looked at so many properties. I had a regular bank loan. I had a approval through NACA. I had an approval through USDA.
Hmm.
Now, in all essence, like at the end of the day, once you decide, you are going to have to explain why those other mortgage people have pulled your stuff. But
Right, right.
it's all, I felt that it was a great option to have all of those avenues to choose from. Because again, like I had already shared with everybody, when I was buying my first house, I was getting beat out by investors. So I needed to have a lot of options.
Absolutely. That's the smart. And that's kind of the first thing we were talking about. Like, know what you want and have your stuff in order for the type of property that you want, right? And if that means if you have a wide range of types of properties you're looking at, or you're just open to everything, yeah, you want to have all your ducks lined in a row and have some options of financing. Now, having said that, you get a period of time to shop for your loan where it only counts as one inquiry, right?
Okay.
So for 14 days, and it may have changed, not less than, but it may have increased. But for 14 days, you get to have as many lenders, credible mortgage lenders, pull your credit as you want to give you loan scenarios, but it will only look like one inquiry on your credit report so that your score doesn't keep dropping.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. That's good
Yeah.
to know. Yeah.
Now, for somebody, so initially you were talking about like, should I do this? Should I buy a house? Somebody asked you. And it's definitely great to say like, I think everyone should own real estate, period. Whichever way you come into it, everyone should own real estate because it's the number one way to build wealth in this country. And if you don't do that, you have very little other options, because few people are savvy enough to, play the stock market, and, everybody's not getting an inheritance, and everybody's not going to win the lottery, right?
Right.
People, you can make 6 figures on your job. Great. What are you doing with it? Okay. So I agree, most people should buy a home, right? You need to also understand that there's no calling the landlord to fix stuff, when you buy your home. You need to understand that there's going to be homeowner maintenance, and homeowner upgrades that you're going to be responsible for. And whatever happens relative to that house, it's on you, right? So you need to be prepared for that. So although there are...
You can't call the person who bought it from you.
Nah, you can't. Please don't. I've had people try. No, that's not how this works. When the keys exchange hands, it's on you, right?
Real life.
So because we talked about all these programs that are available that offer no down payment, the way I instruct my clients is still have some money, right? Don't buy a house with no money. Save your money. Work on your credit score and save your money. If you have perfect credit, wonderful, have some cash. If you got credit and cash, let's do this thing, right? Because when you go into your house, something's going to happen. 100% of the time, it doesn't matter. Something goes out, something goes wrong. Sometimes the day you go to closing, okay? Prepare for it. Know this in advance and be able to protect yourself in that regard. And that means having some money. So work on your savings. If you're trying to do this, my recommendation is to have access to liquid is great, but if you have like a TSP or 401k, some other way to get it, have 5% of whatever your purchase price is in cash, in accessible monies. That's my recommendation for all of my clients.
And that is a good recommendation, because more than likely, like she said, you're going to need it for something, like literally. Whether it's on the front end or the back end or in the middle. So there's another question. So are there programs for investors to buy and renovate properties?
Yes. So if you're an investor, meaning you're not going to live in the house after you renovate it. And I'm going to tell you something else after I get finished with this statement. If you're not going to live in the house, you need to have 20% of the value of the home or the loan that you're trying to get in cash to put down as a down payment. Banks are not financing 100% of properties for investors. They're not doing it, right? So you need a 20% down payment of the cost of the house. If you're going to buy a home for $100,000, you need $20,000 to complete the sale as an investor. Now, the best way to do it is live in all your investments, right? Like if you can do it, buy a home as an owner occupant, renovate it, sell it, move into the next one. Like, and 4 units would be a great way to do that, because you can live in 1 unit and rent out the rest and have no cost of living, quite frankly. But like investors, you're going to need 20%, period. So save your ducats.
So that's initially, guys, what I'm doing right now. I'm purchasing properties, I'm living in it, and then I'm selling it. Actually, I probably want to love this next house forever, so I probably will never sell it.
I can't wait.
You never know. They quarantine again and just decide, you know what? Let's do this.
Like, move on. Or, and you can borrow against. Once you renovate the home you're living in and you create all that equity for yourself, you can borrow against that and leverage that into other properties.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah, but are there people out there that are willing to help you invest and flip it? I'm pretty sure there are some type of groups or something. That's just required research to be done.
I mean, it needs to be people you trust. So if you're going to join an investment group, you better know these people. And you better have some written agreements in place.
Because you can pull your 20% together and then get it that way.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So it definitely needs to be people that you trust. Literally, I don't know about everybody else and when they purchase the properties or whatever, but literally I disclose all my financial information to my real estate agent. And of course, my loan officer knows all of my business. but you need to be able to trust that. Like you need to be able to trust those two people. But even in renovating a house or whatever, your contractors, like you need to be able to trust your contractors as well. I have had some of the worst contractors ever. And it's okay to fire people, like
Yeah,
because it's your money.
with the quickness.
So, but you definitely need to invest in property. I would say, and I'm not gonna say it's not a bad thing. I actually think I might be pulling some friends in to get that going to start. But I have to trust you, and you got to have a vision.
You have to have a vision, and you are a visionary because a lot of people can't do what you did for their first property.
Well, it was all God.
Yeah. You need to have that vision, and you need to have a good amount of faith and patience, like all of that to purchase and renovate your first home.
And you gonna cuss a lot. You gonna cuss a lot, and you gonna pray even more, and then you might cry a little, but it's all
A
right.
little bit.
It's
You get there.
So it just takes time, and you do need the patience. So
Yeah.
well, guys, Mrs. Sauls, do you have any
Yes,
else
ma'am.
any else this thing to share? I can pass that.
I don't. I just think. I mean, I do. I think that if this is your first venture, whether it is your first investment or your first home you're purchasing, for anybody out there, get somebody that's going to hold your hand with you. The reason that I have two purposes in the way I operate my business, my mode of operation. And one is I want people to have good information. Even if I'm not your realtor, I like answering questions because I'm going to tell you the truth. And I know I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm telling you I'm going to tell you the truth, so you need to believe I'm going to tell you the truth, right? I want people to have good information. And number two, I want to head off problems before they exist, right? Anticipate the need. So the more I learn over my 16 years in business, the more I can say, I see this as a red flag, and let's do this so that we don't have this problem later on. So those are my two modes of operation. So get with somebody that has the same belief system and is going to hold your hand through the process.
Yes. And I can definitely say and attest to that was definitely Angel for me. As far as the numbers, I'm talking about she was spot on with the numbers in regards to like closing, what I would need in renovation, if I needed to fix something, all that type of stuff, because I'm a visual person. So you can write it down all day long for me, but if I can't visually see it, it's not really going to make sense to me. So she definitely held my hand and through it all. And again, you are licensed in Maryland.
All three jurisdictions: Maryland, DC, and Virginia.
Yes. So that's also great. That means your opportunities are endless in this area for it. She can get you a house wherever you want one. that's
Get whatever you need.
whatever you need. And she goes in basements. That's important for something.
Right.
So
I go in attics, I'll go in the basement.
Basements.
We're good to go.
I'm not doing it. So but yes, if you're interested in purchasing a home, if you even have more questions, again, I know somebody dropped it in the chat. I'm going to drop it again. And share contact information. It might be also good to get Bruce on here at one point.
Absolutely.
Bruce Dorsey was my loan officer. He was amazing. He listened to me.
My ace.
Complain. He listened to me be frustrated. I'll talk about that. It also helps if your real estate and your loan officer saved, because then they be praying on you. Okay, I know. Yeah. It helps if they save, because then they be praying on the back end for you too. Like, listen, Lord, she got this far, please.
And I told my husband just last night or the night before, I was like, prayer is a part of my business plan.
Listen, because you're gonna have to pray, y'all. Y'all gonna have to pray, because everything is not gonna go the way you think it's supposed to go.
Right.
So, and it's going to be, somebody else asked me that question the other day. They're buying a house. They actually are buying a new construction. And she was like, I just don't think it's supposed to be this hard. And I'm like, I don't think buying a house is ever easy.
Right. It's not.
So, like, it'll take you through so many emotions. And if you're not ready for that, literally having a realtor and a loan officer that has like just a clear head, and they are just like, that will allow you to be the crazy person that you will possibly be. They it for you. That's it.
Yes, 100%. And
Um,
even new construction, since you said that, take an agent with you. Do not even buy new construction without an agent.
do not get a contract on a new construction unless you have a real estate agent or like
Please.
take one with you because you don't understand none of that stuff that's in that contract. You can say you're
And
ready.
those contracts are very builder friendly, and the representatives that are in there work for the builder. Why would you not? And the builder will pay the commission. So why not have representation?
And I'm talking about this is a horrible deal that this person is in because she has absolutely no amenities or anything that are being offered and no closing calls. It's bad. But hopefully the person now she has your information because I told her to call. Like you need to call and you're gonna ask her all questions, Rose. I have no
do. Please do.
New construction. I did look at new construction, y'all. However, again, I like tearing stuff apart, even though I know I can make a new construction what I like it to be. I personally prefer older properties so I can do whatever I want with it. So, yep, that's just me. So, you might want a new construction. Again, I like my coins in my pocket.
Yes.
So, I'm probably going to always go with the older one. So, and you know, the house that I have now has some really great bones. Really, really, really great bones. And I purchased it from the original owners, and I'm believing it's amazing when this whole in about 4 more weeks. We got about 4 weeks.
Say that again.
We got about 4 more weeks.
Oh, great.
So, but yeah. Well, thank you, my angel. That's what I call her. Thank you.
It's been my pleasure. I'm honored that you even asked. So yeah, I'm here for you anytime.
And I hope you all have more questions. Again, I'll drop her information again in the chat, and I'll see you next time on Reese Renos. Bye, y'all. Oh, Lord. Y'all know, okay, y'all know horrible at ending these things. I got to offer the perfect ending, and it's like, where's the mouse? So, again, this y'all.
Bye.
Bye.